probably edit all of this part out.
Sounds good. Okay, let's go. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to the inaugural episode of The Eternal Void, but with Jazz. You can find future episodes of the podcast on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all your other preferred platforms. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Podbean at evjazz.podbean.com or your favorite podcast platform to make sure you never miss an episode.
And for behind-the-scenes sneak peeks, surprises, and other fun shenanigans, check us out on our Blue Sky account at Serana's Void. That's SERANASVOID. You can be sure to hear about upcoming guests, let us know about your feedback about future episodes, and chat with us about the esoteric. We can't wait to hear from you. Not on Blue Sky? No problem. You can also email us at seranasbow@gmail.com. That's SERANASBOW@gmail.com.
If you'd like to help support the development of this podcast, you can find us on Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/EVJ-podcast. Your contributions will go towards covering the costs associated with producing and hosting the Eternal Void pod, and we are extremely grateful for all of our donors' kindness and generosity. Thank you for helping make this podcast possible.
Awesome. Woo! Thank you so much. So, hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Eternal Void, but with Jazz podcast. We are recording a little introduction episode before we start dropping our guest episodes in mid-December, just to kind of say hey and let everybody know that we're back and kind of what we're doing this time around. So we've got some great guests lined up for you. We've got a great new co-host. I think we can probably start there. Gabby, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Gabby, your new co-host in the Void. Thanks so much for having me on the show. So for a little bit about me, I've had a passion for magic and the supernatural for almost 2 decades now. After a paranormal experience in my childhood made me question whether there was more to the universe than what we can really detect with our physical senses. Today, I'm a practicing witch who lives in a haunted house and likes to read a little tarot and study ancient mystery traditions in their free time. I'm also a certified Reiki 2 practitioner. For most of my life, spirituality has been a source of empowerment and healing for me. So my hope is with this podcast, we'll be able to demonstrate how magic can inspire, influence, and illuminate our lives. So I'm pretty psyched to be here. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be a part of this project. And I'm really glad that I get to share the experience with an awesome co-host like Michelle.
Oh, thank you so much. We're so excited to have you on this project. Where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm on Blue Sky at Cathonia. I know a lot of people say Catonia, but no, it's Cathonia. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited. I think it's safe to say we have been looking for a project to do together for quite some time, and this just kind of came back together, and I'm really stoked. And a little bit about me for anybody. So my name is Michelle. I am a spiritual pluralist and lifelong seeker. I'm a lifelong experiencer of and curious about the weird, the odd, and the high strangeness. Additionally, I'm a firm believer in the near infinite power of stories and narrative to facilitate healing. And I think that's really important. I'm a fan of shadow work. I'll just put it out there that way. I think I like the Jungian stuff. Aside from that, big fan of outdoor shenanigans like rollerblading. And also a big fan of practicing Muay Thai kickboxing. You can find me on Blue Sky as well, although I'm rarely there these days, under the handle of Elfin Rake. So that's a little bit about me. And welcome back to the Eternal Void, but with Jazz. We're back. Y'all should be probably hearing this in early December. We've got our first guest coming on the show, already came on the show and recorded and edited and ready to go, and we'll be releasing their episode mid-December. Gabby, do you want to tell us a little bit about our first guest that we're having?
Absolutely. Yeah. So up first, we'll be talking with Amy Blackthorne. So you may know Amy from some of the awesome books that they've written. I'll list off a couple of the titles. You may know them from Blackthorn's Botanical Magic, Sacred Smoke, Blackthorn's Botanical Brews, Blackthorn's Protection Magic, and Blackthorn's Botanical Wellness. And we had a great conversation with Amy about shadow work because she has a new book coming out all about shadow work and how you can incorporate herbal botanical allies into that journey. And that book will be coming out on August 3rd. So that's going to be a really fun chat to tune on into.
Yeah, not to give too much away, but that was such an amazing chat, and I learned so much. I'm still, yeah, still rolling around in my brain in those quiet moments many days later after that talk. We've also got AP Strange, our former co-host, who now has their own amazing show, the AP Strange Show, their podcast. Check them out. They're going to come on and talk with us about, well, I'm sure it'll be fun, probably some high strangeness, some kooky magic. Maybe we'll get into the clowns. Yeah, really excited about that one. We've also got our friend Jonathan Seal coming on to talk about Twin Peaks. If you haven't seen Twin Peaks, great show. Absolutely love it. We've been rewatching a lot of it. I guess not quite in preparation, but also in preparation for that. I'm really excited. Did you want to say anything about either of those?
Yeah, I'm definitely super pumped to have a conversation about, both Twin Peaks, because if you follow me anywhere, I'm a huge fan. And I love talking about the way that the show sort of intersects with real world esotericism. And yeah, I'm also really excited to talk to AP Strange because since he was the former, co-host of this podcast, I think it'll be super fun to really talk about, his experience on the show and any advice and pointers that he can give me as I, kind of step up and try to fill those shoes.
Oh my gosh, I don't think you need to worry too much about that, but yeah,
Oh,
I think
thanks.
we can we can all help one another, definitely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then we've got another guest coming on that I'm really excited about. Like so excited, I don't even want to I just want to surprise everybody, maybe. But they're New York Times bestselling author. Some of my favorite books that I discovered their series a couple years ago at the local library and instantly fell in love. So, and they are also a devotee of Inanna. So they're coming on to ostensibly talk about this amazing world of fiction that they've built, and also talk a little bit about their practice. So we've got that scheduled and in the pipeline as well. Gabby, what else do we have coming down?
Yeah, absolutely. So we also have another author, writer, YouTuber, Mavius Lynn. So you may know her from her YouTube videos about Thelema, and she also has a book coming up in the future called The Holy Days of Thelema. So it's all about Thelemic holidays. So kind of like how witches have the Wheel of the Year, where we celebrate like Samhain and Yule, for example. Her book is all about the different holidays that Thelemites may observe in their own practice. And I think that's going to be a really fun conversation because while we may focus on the magic behind Thelema, we don't always talk about the lifestyle and the more sort of day-to-day activities of Thelemites. So it'll be a cool conversation to kind of get a new perspective on this tradition.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I think I was telling you a little while ago that I've read a lot of Thelemic texts and I've never once recall coming across a discussion or any writings about holy days. So this is completely new territory, and I'm really excited for this talk when it comes up. And then also on our calendar, we've got the Morgan's Oracle. They are a YouTuber, and they've got like a Discord and Patreon community. Also write and do some channelings on their Substack. So we'll have all of that as well as much more in the pipeline. Got some other stuff that I guess we won't talk about here because it's not quite ready yet, but it is on its way that we're really excited about. And that's kind of, Gabby, is there anything you think we're missing on the upcoming stuff?
I feel like we've I think we kind of covered it, other than your little shout out to your charity, and then maybe like a little outro or something.
Yeah, no, I think that's it. The other thing we were going to do, Gabby and I were talking about something that we wanted to do, charity involvement. And I think it's safe to say like community involvement and community building are both are important to the both of us. So one thing we're going to do each episode is we're going to shout out to a charity. For our guest episodes, we're going to let the guests pick the charity and have them tell us a little bit about the charity and why it's important. But for this episode, I wanted to tell you all about the Ossain Sweet Foundation and a little bit about Ossain Sweet as a person. The foundation's website is osweetfoundation.org. That's OHSWEET foundation.org. And Ossain Sweet was a Black doctor who studied in Europe post-World War I, who moved to the Detroit area in 1925 and bought a house in what was at the time a predominantly white community. The night that he and his family went to move in, around 1,000 people showed up as an angry mob outside his house. And that went on for a second night, and things escalated, got violent. People were hurt, and everyone in Ossain's house, including his very young daughter, were placed under arrest and charged with murder. Now, they eventually, after 2 trials, 1 mistrial, were eventually acquitted. But in the process, Ossain's wife and daughter both came down with tuberculosis, which at the time had no treatment available. They both eventually succumbed to tuberculosis, and Ossain was never able to actually live in that house that he bought, and really didn't get to see his family again because they had moved out west, where the climate was a little bit more friendly to those with tuberculosis. So the Ossain Sweet Foundation currently runs the house. They own the house. They have a beautiful park next to the house where all of this information is available and laid out. I would definitely recommend checking out their website. They also do a lot of mentoring, community building, scholarship funds, and things of that nature. So that is our charity shout out to the Ossain Sweet Foundation.
And I think it comes at a very important time in history where we're finding events like that are being erased and, intentionally forgotten. So I think it's very important that we support, organizations like this foundation.
110%. Yeah, absolutely. It's way too easy to brush over this kind of thing. And not everybody, or, a lot of people intentionally will just not look. And I've got nothing to add to what you just said, but I'm trying to for some nervous reason anyway, because that's what we do on The Void, I guess. Thank you, Gabby. I appreciate you so much.
Likewise.
Yeah, but so that's it for the return of the Eternal Void, but with Jazz Podcast. We hope you will stick around. We've got our first episodes returning here shortly. So hit subscribe and like and share, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks so much.